Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about legendary gems in Diablo Immortal, as it is significantly different from Diablo 3, as this will be a item that you will be able to get 6 copies of versus 3 copies of in, let's say, Diablo 3 with the legendary gems. I know with the helmet slot in Diablo 3 there is like that anniversary gem, but for the most part it's basically 3 legendary gems that you'll be able to use and upgrade in Diablo 3, whereas in Diablo Immortal you can have up to 6 of them in its current state. But I wanted to go ahead and flesh out this video and give you guys first off how you get legendary gems in the game, and then I want to go over the progression system that is currently implemented in as of right now. It is a huge grind to go ahead and get these gems up, especially if you're going to be a free-to-play player. And I think this is something very important to touch upon. So first off, in terms of acquiring these legendary gems. So the easiest way to get them is actually through these things called legendary crests, which will guarantee you a drop at the end of the rift. Now, they do give you a few for free on the free version of the Battle Pass. You'll be able to acquire 2 of them as you progress in the game. Now, in addition to that, I will go over all the effects of the current legendary gems, but first I want to do the acquiring of them. So you can also craft these legendary gems, however, it is going to be a huge sink into the rune cost. So over here you can see the requirements to actually craft it. I have 42 out of 600 runes. That's how much it requires to craft just one legendary gem. And in order to go ahead and upgrade these, you're going to actually need multiple copies of the same one to rank them up. So this one over here, Power and Command, you can see what it does, and I'll go over what the heck all of these do more in depth in a minute, but I just want to go ahead and go over like the basic core mechanic of it. So it requires 600 of a certain rune and 30 of another rune, and it also costs a premium currency called Platinum. Platinum is going to be acquired by just playing the game, so you will get this currency without paying money. However, it is also a purchasable currency by converting your what's called Eternal Orbs, a premium currency, into Platinum. Platinum is also the currency used to go ahead and purchase things in the marketplace. But it does require both, not only those runes, but it also requires Platinum if you want to go ahead and craft them. Now, with the legendary crest, and this is the easiest way to get these in the game, is if you purchase a legendary crest, you will guarantee yourself not only fading embers, which is another form of currency, but it also guarantees you a legendary gem drop. It's 100%, you will always get a legendary gem at the end when you go ahead and complete the Elder Rift. But it also will grant you those 3 runes. Now, if you do what's called a rare crest, you will still get those runes and the fading ember. However, you will not be getting that legendary gem drop. You guys will see here in the gameplay, we are going to be rolling with rare crest every single time. At the end of the rift, you'll see these runes that drop. I am also, just as a heads up, running triple crests in the very beginning, so I'm using 3 of the rare crests to go ahead and get more runes, as it is definitely a huge grind, and I'll kind of explain the math here in a minute. But I mentioned that there was also fading ember. You'll get some fading ember as you go ahead and complete it. But it's a pretty expensive thing to go ahead and purchase these gems, being the fading ember trader. He'll also let you go ahead and purchase runes, but if you want to go ahead and get a very specific gem, it will cost, 2,000 of it. And I guess they are going to be rotating in and out what is going to be purchasable in terms of like what gems. So if you're looking for a very specific one, this could be another alternative way besides crafting, because crafting takes a really long time. And some of these runes will start costing a lot higher in the fading ember cost if you want to go ahead and just purchase the runes. There's another way you can get them, which is actually the marketplace. So it's kind of like, if you want to think of it like kind of the auction house, except for you just go ahead and buy it. There is a small fee that you will have to pay when you use this in the form of its in-game currency, the Platinum. Is what is used currently right now to purchase. The auction house or the marketplace does currently work right now. It's just no one's really selling anything at the moment. But that is another form of currency that you'll be able to go ahead and acquire again in the game, or you can purchase it, and that's what you use to purchase that off of other players. Now, in terms of upgrading gems, what it will do, just like in Diablo 3, you'll be able to go ahead and get extra bonuses depending on what rank the gem is. Now, from going from, let's say, rank 1 to rank 2, you just need 1 extra copy of the legendary gem to go ahead and rank up. Now, if you want to go from 2 to 3, you're going to need 2 copies. So it's going to exponentially start getting more and more in the cost department to go ahead and upgrade these gems. But now that we have a basic understanding of kind of how the gems work, I'm going to go ahead and go over the stats and what these legendary gems can do, as some of them are similar to ones that we've seen in Diablo 3, but there are some that are completely new and different here. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the first legendary gem over here. I'm going to be using Maxroll's website because they have this really condensed form over here and it looks really clean. So I'm going to be using that website, and I'll also link it down below. But first off, Battleguard over here, you gain a percent of the socketed item's base attribute. So you can think of it basically as main stat, which is usually what you want in Diablo Immortal, just like in Diablo 3. However, there's a lot of other things that you do want to scale, like there's something called offensive stats, and there's a lot of other things to go into, but you can basically think of it as a main stat bonus to your character. Now, even though it says 25 to 35, 35 is not the highest that you can get. That's when you get the next upgrade. It'll be, instead of 25, it might be 35. And the 10% going to 12%. 12% again is not max, because when I first saw this, I was like, oh, if you max it out, you only get 12%. It's not that big of a deal. No, that's just the next rank, so it will exponentially get higher than 12%. And then on top of that, you get to move unhindered through enemies while your life is below 20%. That 20% number potentially could change on it, as I haven't seen the exact one on this one, but there are other numbers that can be modified. Don't think it's only going to be 20%. It could be different, as keep in mind the game is still in the alpha state right now, and in fact everything is subject to change in the current iteration of it. But that's the basic mechanic of it. Once you go ahead and get it to rank 6, just like in Diablo 3, if you were to get a gem to rank 25, you'd be able to get some extra bonus. So that's a brief explanation of kind of how a gem works. But I also want to go ahead and mention some of the math over here, because it's actually really insane. We were actually talking about this last night. So if you were to do rifts, and I'm doing rifts in about like 3 minutes each right here in the gameplay in the background, and if you were to go ahead and do 1 rare crest at a time, keep in mind the game as a free-to-play player, unless you're getting these as like, you know, certain rewards as you progress in the game, if you're just playing the game and maybe you've already used up, like in the battle pass they'll give you some too, but let's say you dry that up, you're limited to purchasing 1 crest per day via the honor shop. So it's not like you're going to be getting thousands of crests, you know, super fast in this game. But to kind of give you guys an idea, I mean, remember, it costs 600 of one of the runes. If I was to get perfect 3 runes on 1 crest every single time I went into a Elder Rift, that means I would have to, if I got perfect lucky, and I did 200 of these rare crest runs, and I was getting 3 copies of, you know, that rune every single time, that would mean I would need to do 200 rare crest runs to get the materials required. And that's getting perfect luck on getting that specific rune to keep on dropping the same time. That is a huge time sink. And if we're just using those rare crests, which again, they're only purchasable by a limit by 1 per day via the honor system in the game, that would take me, if I was doing it again 1 at a time, 1 rare crest in an Elder Rift, that would take me about 10 hours for the rune requirement of just that 1 rune. And that's getting it every single time. That's not counting the other runes potentially needing to be dropped. There are runes that are more difficult than others. The one that requires 600 is easier to drop, but again, I still would need 600 of those going back to, if I was to craft, you guys can see it crafts 600. That is huge. And that's not counting the platinum cost either, and the other rare rune drop, which might be super hard to get. Some of them I've only got like maybe 3 or 4, and I've been playing the game for, you know, several hours. But I'm also thinking, guys, just as a heads up, that because the game is not like, it's scaling to level 45, maybe the drops are going to be much more generous when we play the game in its full launch. But I'm just going to go ahead and mention the math, because this is very important to go ahead and mention in its current state. So I hope that this either scales way better in the game, or they're going to be more generous with the cost of some of these craftings. It's going to take so long. Remember, if you want to upgrade your gem to the next level, it's not just like complete the rift, you talk to Urshi and you get like a couple upgrades. you have to get another gem to get the upgrade. And if you want to go ahead and go from like rank 1 to rank 2, it's, you know, just one. But as you go higher, it might be costing several of the same gem, which again, per gem, with some of these ratios, we're talking lots and lots of time for investment. Okay, so I just want to mention that as a heads up, because this is something that we had a long discussion about over on my stream. But anyways, now going into the rest of the gems, as I wanted to go ahead and make this video for that purpose, but I had to explain that as it's very important. Next up though, we have Berserker's Eye. So you gain, the gain attribute, I'm not going to mention that anymore as it's on every single legendary gem. The scaling of it might change a little bit, but I won't mention the first part of it anymore as they're all the same. But anyways, it increases the damage you deal by 9%, and again, it can go way past 9.9. It's just if you rank it up once, that's what it does. But it also reduces your armor by 30%, and at the rank 6 bonus, well, they're all rank 6 by the way for this, so I'm not going to mention rank 6, but the bonus at rank 6 though is going to be that your attacks have a 2% chance to ignore your target's armor. Next up, we have Bloody Reach. So this one makes it so you get to increase all damage you deal by 3% for every 2 yards between you and the enemy hit. The maximum increase is at 8 yards, and when you get it to rank 6, your attacks have a chance to reduce enemy attack and movement speed by 15% for 2 seconds. Next up, we have Chained Death, which makes it so it will go ahead and increase your damage done by your attacks by 2%. Per target hit up to maximum of 3 targets, and with the other bonus, I'm just going to call it bonus from now on so I don't have to say rank 6 every time. So the bonus is, once you get it to rank 6, is that it increases the maximum targets to 4. And then with Chip of Stone Flesh, your attacks have a 5% chance to petrify your target, inflicting stun for 1.5 seconds. An enemy can be affected by this only once every 20 seconds, and bonus is to deal 2% increased damage to petrified targets. And then with the Cutthroat's Grin, you get to have 15% increased critical hit chance when attacking from behind, and the bonus is increased damage by 2% when attacking from behind. Keep in mind, all these numbers are subject to change, and that 2% probably increases to a lot more as you rank it up. Next up, though, we have Echoing Shade. Your attacks have a 15% chance to summon a Shadow Clone for 5 seconds and gain some of your attributes and skills, and the bonus is you can have 2 Shadow Clones at one time. Fervent Fang is going to make it so each attack you make against an enemy increases your damage taken from your attacks by 1.5%, and this is kind of like a Bane of the Stricken, and then you also get increased all damage you deal to elite monsters by 2% at the bonus. Next up, with Howler's Call, we have your primary attack has a 30% chance to summon a charging spirit wolf that inflicts 150% damage to all enemies in its path, and it has a 10-second internal cooldown. And the bonus is that the spirit wolf has a 20% chance to stun enemies for 1 second. Next up, we have Lightning Core, and you'll be able to make it so your attacks have a 10% chance to call Chain Lightning, inflicting 100% additional damage to all enemies near the target, with a 15-second cooldown. The bonus is increases all damage you deal by 2% for 6 seconds after calling Chain Lightning. Next up, we have the Lowe's Focused Gaze, and you're going to be gaining abilities, so your charge skills, so it's kind of like cooldown reduction, so to speak. 15% cooldown reduction. Again, it can go way higher than 16%, but I'm just mentioning the first number here because it's easier. And then it also, with the bonus, increases damage done by your charge skills by 2%. Next up, we have the Mocking Laughter, and this makes it so your primary attack forces monsters hit to attack you for 3 seconds. Each monster can be affected by this only once every 8 seconds. With bonus, it reduces all damage you take from monsters affected by this by 1%. With Nightmare Wreath, we have a 10% chance when you kill an enemy to cause other nearby enemies to flee in fear for 1.5 seconds with a 20-second cooldown. The bonus is increases all damage you deal to targets affected with fear by 1%. And then with Pain of Subjugation, we gain that's the bonus. We deal 9% increased damage to enemies suffering from loss of control. And then the bonus is they take 2% reduced, you take 2% reduced damage while suffering loss of control of your character. And then with Phoenix Ashes. When you are about to receive fatal damage, you gain a shield for 6 seconds that absorbs damage equal to 180% of your maximum life, and it has a 180-second cooldown. And then when the shield expires, you get to heal for 20% of the remaining value for the bonus. And then Power of Command. This is almost like a convention of elements, but it's mostly for your primary and secondary. What it does is Power and Command states alternate every 9 seconds. Power state increases your primary attack damage by 10%, and the command state increases all other skill damage by 10%. And then the bonus is you have a 10% chance to dispel a negative effect on you each time power and command states alternate. You can see it actually in the gameplay. I actually do have this gem, and you'll see that there's like a white aura around us, and then it's what's between a white and a black aura. When it is the black aura, that's your skills, and when it's the white one, that is your primary attacks. And then next up, we have the Respite Stone. You get to take 1.5% reduced damage for every 10% your life is below maximum. For every 10% your life is below maximum. Okay, so with the bonus though, you get 4% increased armor while your life is below 50%. And then next up we have the Seeping Bile, and that makes it so your attacks have a 5% chance of poisoning enemies for 37% chance damage over 3 seconds. This poison spreads to nearby enemies. If the victim dies, each enemy can be affected by this only once every 6 seconds. And then with the bonus, the poison also reduces enemy movement speed by 10%. And then next up we have Slayd's Awakening. It's kind of like Bane of the Powerful. So you gain 9% increased damage for 30 seconds after killing an elite monster. The bonus is going to make it so it is going to be 35 seconds. Again, remember all these numbers could go up much higher. It's just that this is what shows off, especially when you're looking at it at the lower rank over here. Now, moving on to the Black Rose, you are able to go ahead and make it so each time you are attacked, you have a 10% chance to summon vines that immobilize the attacker for 1.8 seconds, and each enemy can be affected by this only once every 12 seconds. And then the bonus is the chance to summon those vines increases to 12.5%, and that's at rank 6, just like, again, all of them. And then the Hunger, you get to heal for 7.5 to 9% each time you kill an enemy, and then the bonus is to increase your attack speed by 2% for 3 seconds after defeating an enemy. And then we have the Trick Shot gem. So this makes it so your channel skills consume energy 15% slower, and then you also take 2% reduced damage while using a channeling skill for the bonus. And then we have Unity Crystal, which makes it so you gain some damage reduction. So it's 15% of all damage you take will be split among party members within 9 yards who also wear this item. But with the bonus, you get to reduce all damage you take by 0.66 for each party member within 9 yards. So that's going to go ahead and be all the gems that we currently have. I'm not sure if they actually plan to actually have more, but this is a really huge amount of gems. Remember, guys, that you can use 6 of these as they equip in your primary slot in this game, which we talked about previously in another video. I'll link some other videos if you guys want to learn more about Diablo Immortal, but I wanted to go ahead and go over all of the gem mechanics. But yeah, so that's how the gems work, and that's how you actually get those legendary gems. But I'm curious to know how you guys feel about the feedback. For me personally, because like I said, we had a large discussion about this on stream, I think that in its current state, like the gems are definitely going to be affecting gameplay. They said that you cannot buy gear in the game via the marketplace, but gems, to me in Diablo, gems are a very big part of your character. As far as I'm aware of, there's no augmenting. Someone actually mentioned, you know, is there augmenting in Diablo Immortal? In its current state, I don't think so. I'm not sure if that's something that they do actually plan to add, but that would be even more insane because it does increase your basic items property, and also you get that huge damage bonus, and if you rank it up, you'll get the extra bonus of the item where it's like when it's rank 6. So I think it's a pretty big thing to have in the game, and to have someone grind for that many runes just for, you know, one potential, it's not even going to guarantee an upgrade, because remember, going from, let's say, rank 2 to 3, you need multiple copies of it, and I'm sure going past rank 6, you're going to need so many, and it's going to exponentially be a huge time sink. But keep in mind, you're also going to be getting other things as you do the Elder Rifts anyways. But that's my current thoughts on it. I think that it's too much of a grind if you don't just use the legendary crest. it's just, it is just a very long grind. So if you guys like grinding, this game will definitely have it for those guys that are interested in min-maxing. But then since you can purchase the legendary crest, and I'm going to link a video that kind of explains the free rifts versus the paid rifts, as the legendary one will guarantee you a legendary gem every single time. You don't get to pick, it's random. And I also want to say that there are definitely gems that are more rare than others. Like I've gotten several of like the lightning cores and some of the other ones, whereas some of the other ones I haven't even seen yet. And I've done, you know, tons of these legendary crests on multiple different characters. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. You guys can let me know what you think of it down below. And again, I'll link the max roll site if you guys want to check it out. There's also 2 more Diablo videos that I'll go ahead and pin in the comment section below, and also that'll be up on your screen that you can just click at the end for an annotation if you guys want to learn more about Diablo Immortal. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you are new here and want to see more Diablo content in the future, hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see more in the future. But take care, guys, and I will catch you on the next video. And I'm out. Peace.